Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you today and speak about something that has shaped the course of history, transformed societies, and continues to inspire hope: the power of bravery. The truth is, the brave ones change the world. Throughout history, we see that courage has been the driving force behind the greatest changes. From Martin Luther King Jr. leading the civil rights movement to Malala Yousafzai fighting for girls' education, from the suffragettes demanding voting rights to scientists daring to challenge outdated beliefs. Bravery has always paved the way for progress. These individuals did not wait for the perfect moment. They created it with their bold actions. But bravery is not just about standing on a podium or leading a revolution. Bravery is facing fears, speaking up against injustice, standing by your values even when it is difficult. It is the student who stands up to a bully, the entrepreneur who risks failure to follow a dream, the activist who challenges unfair systems, and even the ordinary person who dares to be kind in a world that often promotes indifference. Fear is a natural emotion, but what separates the brave from the rest is that they act despite their fears. They do not let doubt or obstacles stop them. They step forward when others hesitate, knowing that change only happens when someone has the courage to take the first step. Courage drives change. Courage drives change because every significant transformation in history has been fueled by individuals who dare to challenge the norm. These are the people who refuse to accept injustice, question outdated traditions, and take risks to bring progress. They understand that change does not come from comfort, but from the willingness to step into the unknown. When we look back at history, we see that every major breakthrough, whether in civil rights, science, politics, or technology, was initiated by someone who had the courage to defy the status quo. The abolitionists who fought against slavery, the suffragettes who demanded voting rights for women, and the visionaries who revolutionized industries all shared a common trait. They stepped forward despite opposition, criticism, and uncertainty, believing that their cause was greater than their fears. Courage is not just about fighting great battles. It is also about standing firm in everyday moments. It is about having the strength to speak up when something is wrong, to pursue a dream when others doubt you, or to challenge an idea even when you stand alone. It is the student who stands up against bullying, the entrepreneur who risks failure to build something new, the activist who speaks out for the voiceless, and the scientist who dares to challenge conventional wisdom. True courage is not the absence of fear. Rather, it is the ability to act despite it. Fear is natural. It warns us of danger and makes us cautious. But if we allow fear to control us, we remain stuck in place. Those who change the world are not those who never feel afraid, but those who push forward anyway. They understand that uncertainty is part of progress, and they embrace it rather than run from it. Without courage, societies would remain stagnant, and innovation would be impossible. Every advancement we benefit from today, democracy, medical breakthroughs, technological inventions, exists because someone at some point was brave enough to challenge the way things were. It takes just one bold decision to spark a revolution, and those who embrace courage become the architects of a better future. The world does not change by chance. It changes when brave individuals make a choice to stand up, take action, and refuse to settle for anything less than progress. Overcoming fear leads to greatness. Overcoming fear leads to greatness because fear is one of the biggest barriers to progress. It holds people back from taking risks, speaking their truth, and stepping into the unknown. However, true bravery is not about the absence of fear. It is about acting despite it. Every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary has had to face their fears and push past them. The difference between those who make an impact and those who do not is the ability to rise above fear and take action even when uncertainty looms. History is filled with individuals who overcame their fears to change the world. Rosa Parks must have felt fear when she refused to give up her seat on the bus, but she chose to stand her ground anyway. Scientists like Galileo and Marie Curie risked rejection and failure in pursuit of knowledge. Yet, their courage led to discoveries that transform humanity. Every entrepreneur, leader, and visionary who has ever shaped society faced self-doubt and obstacles. But they chose to persevere instead of surrendering to fear. Fear often paralyzes people, making them believe that failure is worse than never trying. But in reality, failure is a stepping stone to success. Some of the most influential figures in history failed multiple times before they achieved greatness. Thomas Edison made thousands of unsuccessful attempts before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team before becoming one of the greatest athletes of all time. If they had allowed fear of failure to control them, they would never have reached their full potential. In everyday life, overcoming fear is just as important. It takes courage to stand up for what is right, to chase a dream, to speak out against injustice, or to embrace change. Many people avoid taking action because they are afraid of criticism, rejection, or uncertainty. But those who dare to step beyond their comfort zones are the ones who grow, inspire, and make a difference. Ultimately, greatness is not reserved for the fearless. It belongs to those who acknowledge their fears, but refuse to be controlled by them. The moment we decide to face our fears head on is the moment we unlock our true potential. The greatest achievements in life come not from avoiding fear, but from confronting it, embracing the challenge and proving that courage is stronger than any doubt. Bravery inspires others because courage is contagious. When one person stands up for what is right, takes a bold step for change, or refuses to be silenced by fear, it creates a ripple effect that encourages others to do the same. People are often hesitant to act because they fear rejection, failure, or standing alone. But when they see someone else taking that first step, they realize that change is possible, and they too find the strength to act. Throughout history, acts of bravery have sparked movements that transform societies. When Mahatma Gandhi led peaceful protests against colonial rule, his courage inspired millions to join the fight for India's independence. When Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, she empowered countless others to stand against racial injustice. When Nelson Mandela endured decades of imprisonment without giving up his vision of equality, his resilience motivated an entire nation to demand change. These individuals were not just symbols of courage, they were catalysts for collective action. Bravery is not only seen in historical movements, but also in everyday life. A single person speaking up against bullying in a school can encourage others to do the same. A whistleblower exposing corruption can empower others to demand accountability. An employee challenging unfair treatment in the workplace can inspire colleagues to stand together for justice. In families, communities, and workplaces, acts of courage set an example, proving that standing up for what is right is always worth it. What makes bravery so powerful is that it shows people that fear does not have to dictate their actions. Many people hesitate to take risks or voice their opinions because they believe they are alone in their struggles. However, when they witness someone else facing their fears and refusing to back down, they begin to see that courage is not reserved for the extraordinary. It is something that exists within all of us. The greatest movements in history did not begin with a crowd. They started with one person willing to take the first step. The brave ones who challenge injustice, embrace new ideas, and refuse to be silenced give others the permission to do the same. Bravery has the power to ignite change, not just on a global scale, but in the hearts and minds of those who witness it. When one person dares to be courageous, they light a fire that can spread, transforming lives and shaping the world for the better. Anyone can be brave. Anyone can be brave because courage is not an exclusive trait reserved for heroes, leaders, or historical figures. It is something that exists within every person. Bravery is not about grand gestures or dramatic actions. It is about making the choice to do what is right, even when it is difficult. People often assume that being brave means being fearless. But in reality, bravery is acting despite fear, doubt, and uncertainty. It is about pushing past self-imposed limitations and stepping outside of comfort zones to create positive change, no matter how big or small. Bravery comes in many forms, and it is not always loud or dramatic. It can be as simple as standing up for someone being mistreated, expressing an unpopular opinion, or daring to chase a dream when others doubt you. It is found in the student who stands against bullying, the parent who works tirelessly to provide a better future for their children, the entrepreneur who risks failure to build something meaningful, and the individual who speaks out against injustice, even when their voice shakes. Every person, regardless of their background, circumstances, or experience, has the capacity for courage. Many people hold themselves back because they believe that bravery requires extraordinary strength or influence. However, some of the most impactful acts of courage come from ordinary individuals who simply refuse to accept things as they are. A young activist fighting for climate change, a doctor risking their life to save patients, or a teacher empowering students with knowledge. All of these people are examples of how everyday bravery shapes the world. The beauty of bravery is that it grows with each act of courage. The more a person chooses to face their fears and take action, the stronger and more confident they become. A small step, whether it is speaking up in a meeting, making a difficult decision, or standing firm in one's beliefs, can lead to even greater acts of courage over time. No one starts out fearless, but everyone has the ability to develop bravery through their choices and action. The world does not change only through the actions of a few well-known figures. It changes because millions of ordinary people dare to be courageous in their own ways. When individuals embrace their inner strength and take even the smallest steps toward bravery, they create waves of impact that inspire others and contribute to a better future. Anyone can be brave. And when enough people choose courage over fear, the world transforms. In the end, bravery is the force that drives change, overcomes fear, inspires others, and proves that anyone has the power to make a difference. The world has been shaped by those who dare to challenge the norm, speak up for what is right, and take action even when faced with uncertainty. But courage is not just for history books. It is for all of us, here and now. Every act of bravery, no matter how small, contributes to something greater. Whether it is standing up against injustice, taking a risk to follow a dream, or simply refusing to remain silent in the face of wrongdoing, courage has a ripple effect. It empowers individuals, strengthens communities, and pushes humanity forward. So as we move forward in our own lives, let us remember that we too have the power to be brave. Let us not wait for the right moment or for someone else to lead the way. Instead, let us choose courage today in our own way and be the ones who create the change we wish to see, because in the end, it is the brave ones who change the world. Thank you.